Hey everybody, and welcome back for more Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 1. Last time we got through the opening cutscene, and now we're here at the tutorial section. First thing you're going to want to do is scroll through this text and go talk to Kos-mos, who's just standing there. She's going to give you 4 options: normal attacks, tech attacks, and sub-menus are the tutorial sections, which we're going to skip. And switch to real combat will progress the story. I don't need to go through the tutorials because I already know all that stuff. And it's much easier for me to explain it in an actual battle rather than going through all those long-winded tutorial scenes. And believe me, they are long. And we have a cutscene. And this one just kind of feels like a cutscene for the sake of having a cutscene. But, you know what? I will take that over a mountain of text that you have to read through. And that's the thing I like about this game. Everything is done through cutscenes, and there's not a whole lot of reading. There's still some, obviously it's an RPG, but most of the story is told through cutscenes, and I really like that. Alright, real simple battle coming up. The game's pretty much going to tell you what it wants you to do, so there's not much chance of you messing it up, unless you do it intentionally, which I don't know why you do that, but, you know, to each their own. Anyway, from now on, the enemies will attack. Keep your eye on the attack order to avoid taking unnecessary damage. What they're talking about is that section in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can see Shion's turn is coming up first, followed by Kos-mos, and then one of the enemies. It wants us to defeat the enemy on the right because it can attack everyone at once. Seems like a good idea to me. Now each one of these guys is going to have its own set of attacks, obviously. There are 3 different types, and it's going to explain that to us now. And of course, certain types are weak against certain types of attacks, so kind of pay attention to that. Biotypes, mech types, and gnosis types. Those are the 3 types of enemies you'll run into in the game. Biotypes are are weaker against physical attacks. Mechanical types are more weak to special attacks. But of course, at the same time, each character is going to have their own specialties. Like Shion's more of a special attacker, so her special attack is actually going to do more damage to the biotypes than her physical attack will. And if you see there, each character gets 2 attacks to choose from. Square is your physical attack, and triangle is your special attack. Now if you take a look at the top here, under each character there's 4 bits of information there. The top part is your hit points, pretty self-explanatory there. Below that is the ether point, which ether is like your magic in this game. Below that is the action point gauge, and that's very important. You can have a maximum of 6 action points. You gain 4 action points at the start of every turn. Each one of your attacks is going to take up to 2, usually 2 action points. But you don't have to use them all. If you saw with Kos-mos, she still has 2 left over because they only attack with her once. It's because her tech attack requires 6 AP. So she's going to get 4 in the next turn. So she's going to have a total of 6, which is why we did that. And then finally below the action point gauge is the boost gauge, which won't be a factor in this battle, but will in a later one, as soon as we get going in the main section of this first area. Finish off that guy, and now we're going to attack this mechanical thing with Kos-mos's Arcannon Tech type. Attack a type? No, that's not what I meant to say at all. Alright, and that thing is toast. And we're done with the opening battle. Very cool. As you can see, we get experience points and 3 other types of points: T points, E points, and S points. I'll explain those later as we get more into the game. And we are going to have another cutscene. So enjoy.
All processes to 300 cleared.
Chief, the data transfer is going smoothly. The A-line protocol is looking good.
It sure is. The response levels are really good.
If we can maintain these levels, we'll have some great results soon.
Yeah.
Chief?
Hey, Alan. Let's skip all 300 level processes and start from 400.
Huh? 400? Chief, but that's...
I feel pretty confident this time.
But, Chief... Remember what happened last time? Had we waited 10 more seconds to intervene, we wouldn't have been able to get you back at all. Can't we at least test it out in objective mode?
You know we can't get precise data that way. I'll be fine. If something happens, I'll get myself out. Besides, you want to test it out as well, don't you? We spent all night building the native A-line protocol.
Well, yeah, but...
That settles it. Let's get started.
Alright then. But if anything happens, I'm gonna shut it down from here. So don't press your luck.
All right, all right.
And don't deviate from the program.
Okay, Mom.
Jeez, this is so typical of her. Will she ever stop to think about the hell I go through for her?
You know, sir, the way you worry about Chief Uzuki all the time, I'm surprised you haven't keeled over already.
Hey! That's enough! Is the 400 level program ready to go?
We're ready to go anytime.
Then start up the program. I want detailed reports from every monitoring station. Any abnormalities, and I'm shutting down immediately.
Okay, cutscene over, and I think this is actually a pretty good place to cut it for this episode. So, next time on Xenosaga Episode 1, we will venture into Kos-mos' Encephalon. See you then!